In the depths of the human psyche lies a profound and introspective work that challenges the very fabric of modern society. The underground man, a disillusioned and isolated figure who dares to question the ideals and norms that shape our existence. In this video, we will explore the profound critique of modern society found within the pages of this literary masterpiece. Fyodor Dostoevsky was a renowned Russian writer and philosopher who is widely regarded as one of the greatest novelists in world literature. His works explore complex psychological and moral themes, delving into the depths of human nature, existentialism, and the human condition. One of Dostoevsky's notable works is Notes from Underground, also known as Notes from the Underground or The Underground Man. It is a novella published in 1864 and is considered a precursor to the existentialist movement. The Underground Man, the main character and narrator of the story, is a deeply troubled and disillusioned individual who offers a profound critique of modern society. Notes from Underground is a complex and introspective novella that delves into the psyche of the underground man, the first-person narrator. It is divided into two parts, the underground and apropos of the wet snow. The underground man is a representative of the man of the underground archetype, a character who rejects societal norms and willingly isolates himself from others. He is characterized by his extreme self-consciousness, acute intellect, and bitter resentment towards others. Throughout the novella, the underground man engages in introspection and intellectual ramblings, expressing his disdain for rationality, progress, and the notion of self-interest. The character embodies themes such as alienation, free will, the nature of consciousness, and the human desire for freedom. The underground man grapples with the paradoxes of existence and frequently engages in self-sabotaging behavior, showcasing his profound inner conflict and the contradictions within his own psyche. Notes from Underground is often regarded as a critique of rationalism, utopianism, and the deterministic worldview prevalent during Dostoevsky's time. The novella explores the dark recesses of the human mind and the consequences of rejecting social connections and embracing isolation. Dostoevsky's portrayal of the underground man remains highly influential in literature and philosophy, as it challenges the readers to confront the complexities of human nature, the limits of reason, and the consequences of societal alienation. The character continues to be a subject of analysis and interpretation in discussions surrounding existentialism, individualism, and the human psyche. The underground man highlights the alienating effects of modern society. He describes a sense of profound isolation, feeling disconnected from others and unable to form genuine human connections. He criticizes the superficiality and shallowness of social interactions, arguing that they only serve to mask the inherent loneliness of existence. The fallacy of progress, Dostoevsky, through the underground man, challenges the belief in progress and the notion that human society is constantly improving. He argues that progress, particularly in the realm of science and reason, leads to a devaluation of human individuality and a loss of freedom. He sees progress as a force that denies the complexity and unpredictability of human nature. The tyranny of rational self-interest, the underground man questions the prevalent idea that humans are primarily driven by rational self-interest. He argues that individuals are often motivated by contradictory desires, irrational impulses, and a need for suffering and self-destruction. He rejects the notion that human actions can always be explained through rational calculations of self-interest. The dilemma of free will, the underground man grapples with the concept of free will and its implications for human agency. He explores the tension between individual freedom and determinism, suggesting that humans are trapped in a cycle of self-destructive behavior driven by their own free will, even when it leads to their own detriment. In the first part, the underground man introduces himself as a retired civil servant who has voluntarily withdrawn from society. He expresses his bitterness and resentment towards the world, engaging in a series of philosophical musings and reflections on his life and experiences. He discusses his alienation from others, his inability to form meaningful connections, and his self-imposed isolation. The underground man examines the contradictions within himself, embracing his capacity for spite and intentionally engaging in self-destructive behavior. He presents a scathing critique of rationality, arguing that human beings are not solely driven by rational self-interest but are also influenced by their contradictory desires, unpredictable impulses, and the need for free will. Protagonist presents various examples and anecdotes that highlight his perspective and critique of society. Here are a few examples along with their meanings. The Crystal Palace. The underground man reflects on an imaginary situation where he envisions an ideal, rational world represented by the Crystal Palace. This architectural marvel symbolizes the pursuit of progress, order, and reason. However, the underground man rejects this utopian ideal, suggesting that such a society would deprive individuals of their freedom, spontaneity, and unique individuality. The meaning behind this example is a critique of the oppressive nature of rationalism and the dangers of sacrificing human complexity and freedom in the name of progress. The pleasure of spite. The underground man describes scenarios where he deliberately acts against his own best interests out of spite or sheer defiance. He takes pleasure in behaving irrationally and even inflicting harm upon himself or others. This example demonstrates his rejection of the notion that humans are primarily driven by rational self-interest. It reveals the underground man's desire for autonomy, his need to assert his individuality, and his embrace of the darker aspects of human nature, highlighting the complexities and contradictions inherent in human behavior. The paradox of consciousness. The underground man delves into his own consciousness, grappling with the paradox of his self-awareness. He recognizes that he often acts against his own self-interest, choosing to do things that are contrary to rationality. This introspection exposes the intricate layers of human consciousness, showcasing the conflict between reason and irrationality, free will and determinism, and the struggle to find meaning within one's own consciousness. The lament of inaction. The underground man discusses his inclination towards inertia and inaction, expressing a sense of resignation and frustration with his own inability to break free from societal expectations. He desires change but lacks the willpower to initiate it. This example reflects the paralysis caused by the contradictions and anxieties of modern life, where individuals find themselves trapped in a cycle of inertia and a longing for something more meaningful. These examples in the underground serve to convey the underground man's disillusionment with the ideals of rationality, progress, and social conformity. They explore the complexities of human nature, the tension between reason and irrationality, and the yearning for individual freedom and authenticity. Ultimately, Dostoevsky uses these examples to challenge the prevailing societal norms and provoke readers to question their own motivations, the limits of reason, and the nature of human existence. In the second part, Apropos of the Wet Snow, the underground man recounts a series of events from his past. He narrates a humiliating incident involving a dinner party he attended, where he behaves irrationally and tries to assert his own individuality in the face of societal expectations. Through this account, he highlights the power dynamics, the oppressive nature of social conventions, and the inability of individuals to escape their own self-destructive patterns of behavior. The underground man argues against the prevailing rationalistic and utopian ideals of his time. He believes that humans are irrational beings and that attempts to create a perfectly rational and harmonious society are doomed to fail. He sees rationality as stifling and dehumanizing, stripping away individuality and freedom. Here are a few examples from this section along with their meanings. The dinner party. The dinner party scene in Notes from Underground is a significant moment that showcases the underground man's feelings of alienation, marginalization, and his critique of societal norms and expectations. In the novella, the underground man attends a dinner party with his former classmates from his school days. The gathering is meant to be a social occasion where individuals come together to enjoy each other's company. However, the underground man's presence at the party exposes the stark contrast between himself and his peers. Throughout the evening, the underground man experiences a sense of isolation and ridicule from his classmates. He feels marginalized and mocked by their adherence to societal conventions and their conformity to what he perceives as superficial and artificial social norms. He is unable to connect with them on a meaningful level and struggles to find his place within the group. The dinner party scene serves as a powerful example of the oppressive nature of social expectations and the challenges of finding genuine human connections within a society that values conformity. It highlights the underground man's rejection of the superficiality of social interactions and his yearning for authenticity and individuality. Through this scene, Dostoevsky explores the themes of alienation, the complexities of social dynamics, and the conflict between societal expectations and personal freedom. The underground man's experience at the dinner party exposes the limitations and frustrations of social gatherings, where individuals often feel pressured to conform and suppress their true selves. Overall, the dinner party scene in Notes from Underground illuminates the underground man's critique of societal norms, his struggle for genuine connection, and his desire to rebel against the constraints of social conventions. It prompts readers to question the value of conformity and the role of authenticity in human relationships. The incident with Liza. The incident with Liza in Notes from Underground is a crucial and emotionally charged moment in the novella. It involves the underground man's interaction with a young prostitute, Liza, and explores themes of power dynamics, degradation, and the search for genuine human connection. In the story, the underground man encounters Liza, a vulnerable and impoverished young woman who works as a prostitute. Intrigued by her innocence and desire for affection, the underground man initiates a relationship with her. However, his motives are not purely driven by genuine affection but rather by a desire for power and manipulation. As their relationship progresses, the underground man exercises control over Liza, attempting to assert his dominance and mold her into his own image. He revels in the power he holds over her, using emotional manipulation and subjecting her to his whims. However, as time goes on, the underground man becomes increasingly aware of the emptiness and degradation of their connection. He realizes the hollowness of his actions and the inherent cruelty in his treatment of Liza. The encounter forces him to confront the consequences of his own power dynamics and the dehumanization of individuals within society. This incident with Liza serves as a poignant example of the underground man's struggle to find genuine human connection and authenticity in a world that is marked by manipulation, objectification, and the degradation of personal relationships. It highlights the complexities of power dynamics and the search for intimacy within the constraints of societal roles and expectations. Through this encounter, Dostoevsky raises questions about the inherent dignity of individuals, the ethical implications of power, and the potential for genuine human connection in a society that often reduces individuals to objects and commodities. Overall, the incident with Liza is a pivotal moment in Notes from Underground, shedding light on the underground man's flawed pursuit of power, his search for meaning in relationships, and the ultimately tragic consequences of his actions. The tragic nature of free will, the underground man reflects on his own self-destructive behavior and the consequences of his free will. He recognizes that his actions often lead to negative outcomes and a perpetuation of his own suffering. This example delves into the complexities of free will and the inherent contradictions within human nature. It suggests that the pursuit of individual freedom can lead to tragic consequences when it is driven by irrational impulses and a rejection of social norms. the desire for a vindictive act. He wishes to assert his individuality and demonstrate his superiority over the ordinary people. This example explores the underground man's desire for revenge, his yearning for recognition, and his ongoing struggle to find meaning and purpose in his actions. It underscores his inability to escape the influence of societal expectations even in his rebellion against them. Desire for a vindictive act is a significant aspect of his character and explores themes of resentment, rebellion, and the search for recognition. In the novella, the underground man harbors a deep-seated resentment towards the ideals and norms of society, particularly those embodied by his former schoolmates. He feels oppressed by the expectations and conformity they represent, which he perceives as stifling his individuality and autonomy. To assert his own uniqueness and superiority, the underground man develops a desire for a vindictive act against one of his former schoolmates. He fantasizes about inflicting harm upon this person, seeking revenge and intending to disrupt the order and predictability of society. This act is fueled by his yearning to rebel against the ordinary people and to be recognized as an individual who defies societal expectations. However, the underground man's desire for this vindictive act also exposes his own internal conflicts. While he seeks recognition and validation through his rebellion, he is simultaneously aware of the futility and potential emptiness of such an act. He grapples with the contradictions of his desires and the complexities of his own motivations. This desire for a vindictive act serves as a manifestation of the underground man's deep-seated resentment, his longing for recognition, and his struggle to find meaning and purpose in his actions. It reflects his defiance of societal norms and his yearning to assert his individual will, even if it means embracing his own degradation. Through this exploration, Dostoevsky prompts readers to examine the consequences and limitations of rebellion, the complexities of power dynamics, and the search for recognition and autonomy within a society that often suppresses individual freedom. The underground man's desire for a vindictive act serves as a powerful example of the internal struggles and contradictions inherent in the human psyche. These examples in Apropos of the Wet Snow further illuminate the underground man's critique of society, focusing on the dynamics of social interactions, the degradation of human relationships, and the consequences of individual choices. They delve into the complexities of power, guilt, and the longing for authenticity within a society that often stifles individual freedom. Through these examples, Dostoevsky invites readers to confront the limitations and contradictions of human existence, challenging them to examine their own roles and experiences within societal structures. In summary, the underground man's critique of modern society in Notes from Underground challenges the prevailing ideals of rationalism, progress, and individual self-interest. He delves into the complexities of human nature, questioning the validity of social norms and offering a pessimistic perspective on the possibility of achieving true fulfillment and meaningful connections in a modern, rationalistic world. It is a deeply psychological and philosophical work that explores themes such as alienation, free will, the limitations of reason, and the complexities of human nature. It offers a critique of modern society, its emphasis on rationality and progress, and the consequences of societal alienation on the individual's sense of identity and freedom. The novella challenges the readers to confront the depths of the human psyche and grapple with the complexities of existence. Many readers find resonance in his disillusionment with societal norms and his yearning for authenticity. It's important to remember that while you may relate to certain aspects of the character, the underground man is a fictional creation. Dostoevsky's intention was to present a vivid and thought-provoking exploration of the human condition rather than to depict any specific individual. The underground man serves as a representative figure, embodying the contradictions, anxieties, and existential dilemmas that many people experience in different degrees. If you see elements of your own thoughts, feelings, or struggles reflected in the character, it can be an opportunity for self-reflection and deeper understanding of your own experiences. Literature has the power to resonate with readers on a personal level, providing insights and perspectives that can be both enlightening and cathartic. However, it's also important to maintain a healthy separation between fiction and reality. While the underground man's voice may echo your own sentiments, it's essential to recognize that he is a fictional construct created by Dostoevsky to convey broader philosophical and psychological themes.